There's always something great coming up at the Grand, and there's been some new shows announced. To tell me more, Scott Bird, hello.
Hello.
So what's coming up then? Because there's always plenty to see, but there's some great highlights as we head through into, I suppose, the middle of 2019.
Yeah, so we've got this lovely new brochure, Jason.
125th anniversary brochure.
Yep. And if you look really closely, this is something that I really like. All of the posters on the front are the old-fashioned posters of Dick Whittington that we've had. So I think we've probably had Dick Whittington 4 times before, and those are the 4 posters. Because, of course, our panto is Dick Whittington. So should we start with that?
Is that middle pages?
No, it's not. It's towards the end of the brochure, but there it is.
So, yeah, the exciting bit is, we knew Ian Adams was going to be there. We were pleased about that already. Jeffrey Holland and Sue Pollard also named as part of the lineup.
Hi. Yeah, so we're really pleased that Sue Pollard is topping the bill at the moment as Queen Rat. And she's joined by Jeffrey Holland, who of course was Warsaw born and local and has been here quite a few times recently, as is Sue. Not so recently, but it'd be nice that we reunite them on stage. And that's not all. There's going to be more casting to come, so we're really excited.
All right, we'll look forward to that.
Dick Whittington, our 125th anniversary pantomime. Later this year, but should we look?
Yeah, where else are we going to go? Because I know Hair is arriving in the middle of the year.
That's your middle page. That's your centre page.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was really lucky to go along to the rehearsals of Hair a couple of weeks ago, and I got to see probably about the first 20 minutes of the show, and it looks and sounds amazing, and that's without any other set or anything. It is open now. It's just.
But did they wear their clothes for that bit?
They did wear their clothes.
Because that's the big reveal, effectively, in this. Isn't it?
There is. I mean, some people wore considerably less than others, and that's only one reason that you should see it. Actually, it's a really good sort of timeless musical, I think. Well, I say timeless, it's still very relevant to today.
Yeah, but that's what caused the controversy back 50 years ago when it first headed out onto the stage. And but now it's still something that doesn't happen all the time. But when it's appropriate for the story, it's a bit of a crowd pleaser, as well as the fact they get a great tale and some fab tunes too.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some great tunes in there, some quite humorous tunes as well. But yeah, no, it's really good. The set, we've just had the production shots. The set, we might be able to put one up on screen now. The set is really colourful. It looks great. It's quite an intimate little set. Yeah, really looking forward to that. And that's come from the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester, which is this gorgeous little theatre in Manchester. And they put on these really popular, well-produced musicals that sell out in Manchester, and everybody gets, there's quite an excitement around the Hope Mill Theatre, and a lot of their transfers to London. This transferred to the Volts Theatre in London, and now it's on tour to big theatres up and down the country. So that's really exciting.
Well, that's good news to them. It's great.
Yeah.
It's all about keeping theatre alive and having doing something that. It may be 50 years, but it's not something you see all the time, is it? It's not
at all.
It's not some of the shows which are going to be in theatres. And again, those shows are there for the right reasons, and things like The Bodyguard, I mean, that's going to be back at the Grand, and that's going to be another major sellout run, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the last time we had Hair was 1974, and the last time we had The Bodyguard was 2 or 3 years ago, but we're really excited to have The Bodyguard back, as well as exciting casting, which we've just announced. Let's find the page in the brochure, because Jen Lee Shallow is going to be performing the role of Rachel Marin, and Jen Lee has just finished with Cirque du Soleil, so she's just been performing all over the world with that. And then in the second week, some of the performances are the lovely Alexandra Burke.
So a bit of a change up there. I mean, I know Alexandra's very keen to come back to the theatre, isn't she? Particularly, she's got a chair with her name on it.
She's got a chair with her name on it. So,
it's compulsory.
She's got to come and have a sit down, at least. But so that's really exciting. And The Bodyguard, as always, does really well. So if you're going to get tickets, I'd hurry up.
Yeah, it's quick, but it's one of those things you do want to see again and again.
It's incredible. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you think, a movie to musical, I'm not so sure about this, but The Bodyguard is one that just gets it right on every level. Yeah. It's great. So yeah.
Okay, we can see about that one.
Let's have a look. What else?
And we've got some of the amateur groups doing some great stuff. It says turning to exactly the right page at the right time.
Yes.
With that One Night Only.
One Night Only is South Staffs. They are putting on an evening of musical theatre, comedy, drama, and dance, from brand new shows to old favourites. So you're going to expect your sort of classic musicals, right up until sort of new Broadway shows that haven't even made it over to the London or anything yet. So
they just get a chance to hear some stuff performed live for the first time.
Yeah.
In the UK.
In the UK.
So that should be good.
Special guest star Donches Dacres.
And he's jolly good fella. I love Don Chase.
Yeah.
Lovely fella. I mean,
Yeah.
I've known him for years, and he really puts his all into everything. So we'd expect some good stuff from him, and of course all the fantastic performances that I have. Okay, turn the page to West
Yeah,
Brom.
and that is on.
Oh, we're up to
Sunday
into the
the 8th
date.
of
Into the
September,
date.
Sunday the 8th of September.
Okay, that's the important bit.
And Hair is in July.
You're going to get a brochure, that's the thing. 01902 429212, the box office number, grandtheatre.co.uk. Check out whilst we talk anything you need to know.
Go online.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is West Bromwich Operatic Society. So they've yet to perform Cats, which is...
Two from them again this year.
Yeah, so they're performing Cats. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, they're doing that in May.
Yeah.
But then they're going to be back in October with the Wizard of Oz.
So, and a talented bunch, as all of our local amateur dramatic groups are. They wouldn't be able to use the Grand if they weren't good enough to fill it when they turned up. So that's all good.
Exactly. And Milos, voice of the guitar. Milos it's his first time performing at the Grand Theatre, and he's got this sort of special connection with the guitar. And what he likes to do is sort of use its voice to sort of tell.
It kind of sings.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all about the guitar. I mean, it's about him as well, but it's what he does with the guitar is quite special. And then
What's the date on that one?
That is the 22nd of September, and then what he does at the end, he's got a piece on the Beatles. So if you're a Beatles fan,
You'll love all of that as well.
You'll love all of that as well. So,
Okay,
yeah.
brilliant. And these are a load of the one-night shows as well, which is it's a mix of those throughout the year.
Fizogs are back on the 9th of September. Then we've got a celebration of opera for the opera fans on the 11th of September. We've got Shane Ritchie and The Entertainer.
Which should be amazing.
Yeah, really well. I mean, I'm not sure that this play's ever toured. It was in the West End a couple of years ago, and it went down really well at the Garrick Theatre in the West End, but now it's going out on tour.
But he's one of those all-round entertainers as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
And then opposite that, Return of the Rocky Horror Show.
Return of the Rocky Horror Show. So I mean, completely contrasting.
But again, that's been about 4 years since that came around.
Yeah, and it's from the 14th to 19th of October. So it's just before Halloween. It's Not
you'll have your stockings
not
out, won't
you
you?
need a Halloween excuse.
You will
for the
have your
Rocky Horror
stockings
Show,
out.
but it's perfect timing. And then Fame,
And
the
that,
musical.
again,
really
that's another
exciting.
popular one.
Yeah, I love Fame. It was one of the shows that I was in at college, and I think a lot of people were in it at school or knew about it or just remember watching the original TV series or the original.
Okay,
film,
you looked
but
at me then because I'm old enough to remember the original TV series
but
when it was on
this
TV.
production, I got to see this at the end of last year, and it's really, really good.
Excellent.
Really good.
Good. What else is standing out for you there?
What else?
You're just turning the pages and finding something great every time.
Yeah, I mean, this here is.
D'Oyly Carte Opera Company.
Yeah, so the theatre this year, if you haven't heard, we've been shouting about it, hopefully
might
enough,
have
but it's
noticed.
their 125th anniversary, and it opened in 1894 on the 10th of December with Utopia Limited by the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company. Now, D'Oyly Carte are coming back. I don't think it's the same performers.
Maybe
but,
not.
It's the company's the same, so they're returning with their current company to perform Gilbert and Sullivan à la carte, which is like a mixed menu of opera, which does include some of the songs from Utopia Limited.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. They're actually featuring some of it, which is...
They are, yeah. It's not the whole of Utopia Limited, but there's going to be loads of stuff in there that you would love anyway if you're a Gilbert and Sullivan or just opera fan.
Yep.
And part of that will be some of the hits from Utopia Limited.
Brilliant. And opposite that, I mean, are we not going to cast aspersions whether Tony Blackburn was around for the opening night of the Grand either? However, he's here for the 60s live tour.
Yeah, that's another thing that sort of forms part of our week of celebrations for the 120th anniversary.
Yeah, so BBC Radio 2 doing their bit down here as well.
Yeah, so and there's more to be announced for that week as well very
Okay.
soon. So keep your eyes peeled. And then what have we got to sort of finish up? We've got the Sensational 60s Experience. They'll be back again. Mike Pender tops the bill this time, but then the Fortunes, the Trams, Swinging Blue Jeans, the Dakotas. So some familiar names and then some different lineup there. But then Curtains is I think that's the furthest thing that we've got on sale. That's from the 31st of March to the 4th of April next
That's
year.
2020. How scary is 2020?
Yeah, 2020. Almost seems about 10 years away, doesn't
It
it?
does.
No, it's only next year. It's about a year away, 31st of March. So yeah, it's almost exactly a year away. And that's Jason Manford starring in the Kander and Ebb musical, which is really exciting because it's the last musical that they wrote together. But that's the people who did Chicago and Cabaret. So Cabaret, which we've also got coming up. So
You can't move for great stuff, can you?
No.
And
It's so busy.
you haven't mentioned Educating Rita
Educating
either,
Rita,
which I
yeah.
think is on a list of things to
in
mention.
July, yeah, that's from the 8th of July, and that's Stephen Tompkinson and Jessica Johnson. So that's going to be really exciting. really exciting week as well.
Should be very good. Right, pick up your brochure. You can get it down here at the Grand Theatre, or get in touch with the gang, and I'm sure they can sort you one out in the post. I'm sure that's possible. grandtheatre.co.uk to see all of this lovely stuff online, or 01902 429212 is the box office number. But 125 years passes part of the way through the next 12 months, so it's kind of about, is it 6 months away from it now?
It's
nearly,
it's
isn't it?
December, so 7 months.
Yeah, time is flying by, but it's still going to be a great time down here at the Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre. Come along, check out what's going on, and see some brilliant shows. Scott, thanks for having a chat.
My pleasure.